If I have a favorite ZZ Top song, it might be that. Hot Blue and Righteous, 12:14 the time. Welcome to the all-new Voice of Laguna, Friday end-of-week edition of what was the Mornings with Ed show, now the Afternoons with Ed show. We've been talking about this all week, and it's important. It is, of course, Mental Health Awareness Month. We have an author in studio with us. Her book is Eros, Different, Not Less. It's a story about autism, but it's more than that. It's a story about inclusion. It's a story about understanding. We welcome this afternoon to the broadcast, Nyx Sanguino. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Ed. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here and for being willing to share your story. And thank you for sharing your story in the form of a book. What is really a children's book, but it's made for adults to understand as well. The book is, of course, named after your son, Eros.
Yes. Eros is my son. He's 6 years old. He's in the spectrum. I have two boys in the spectrum, okay. Rances and Eros. Rances is 15, okay, and he is here taking classes in Laguna, but Eros was homeschooled also. He has autism, and I say, okay, I'm going to do a book about him just to teach people about autism, because you will be surprised. A lot of people doesn't know what autism means.
Right. There's a horrific misunderstanding about it and the condition. About how early in childhood do you realize I may have an autistic child? When did that happen with each of your boys?
Well, when I have Rances, that is my first boy, I didn't know what was autism about. I had no idea. For me, he was a perfect boy, just a little shy. He didn't talk too much. And I say, he's just normal, neurotypical talking, right?
Right.
And then I was living in Japan. In Japan, they don't talk too much about autism, and people are not aware of that. So when I came back to the States, I went to a doctor, and he said, there is something wrong with your child. I think he has autism. Right. And then I say, what is that? Right. I say, well, he's just perfect. Rances is a savant autistic. So for me, the experience is totally different that I am having with Eros, okay, because Eros is more in the spectrum, that Rances was in the spectrum, but with so many different gifts that the kids has. Right.
So as a savant, he's able to remember numbers and do math in his head. And
yes.
Am I hitting the right nail there?
That's true. So for him, was like, for me, was so proud of having a kid like that. I never have a kid like before. So first time having a kid that was memorizing the periodic table when he was 6 months. Basically, 12 months he was already reading. 18 months memorizing the periodic table, all the multiplication tables. He read in 4 languages when he was about 2 years old.
Right.
So he made news in 2015 because was a doctor from Harvard, Dr. Diane Powell, and she was studying him. She works with savant kids before, and she was doing a study on him. So then I started learning slowly about autism, and I didn't see so much of the autism in that moment. Now things change, right, because now I can see what autism is. It's not only about the gifts, but also the problem with sensory and all these things that you don't see, you don't understand it because you never right, have it before around you.
As I was reading the book, these are things that never occurred to me about a child. That, for instance, Eros had difficulty just with running water on his hands. Explain that for us, please.
Well, it's so weird because sometimes you don't understand what is happening to the kid, and the kid starts screaming or scratching or biting or things like that, and you don't understand what is happening. So just the water running, it was upsetting him, right, so bad that he started screaming or having a giant meltdown. Right. So with my elders, he didn't want to take a shower. He wasn't able to shower or anything like that. He was always trying to play with the water, but in his own way. He didn't want it to get the shower falling in his head because it was too much for him.
Right.
But I didn't understand. And it's wrong when you try to push the kid to do it
Right.
without even knowing how he's feeling. So I start kind of connecting with him and say, what is going on with him? And start kind of doing a lot of research and learn. The most important thing that I can share with people is having love, empathy, and also a lot of knowledge about autism.
Right, and it does take it takes a great deal of patience, I would imagine, not just on your part, but on the part of other children and teachers. And I think the form of communication between, and I want to zero in on Eros for a second, if I may.
Yeah.
Do you have almost unspoken communication where you just know what he needs, you know what he wants?
Yes.
And okay, so that's you as a mom knowing their child.
And that is a video, by the way. Now they are talking about how kids, no verbal in the spectrum, autistic kids, they can communicate with the parents, like no using even words.
Right.
You just know what he wants.
Right.
It comes to you like a feeling, like a thought. And it's easy for me to help him, but with the other people who doesn't connect with him in that level, it's so difficult. So they start kind of thinking that the kid is just spoiled, that he doesn't want to do the things because he doesn't want it,
Right.
that he is, well, people always, because they don't have experience, they always think the worst.
Right.
And that's sad. You know, I've been around and they have been calling me police everywhere. They kick me out of restaurants. They call me police everywhere. They don't understand how hard and difficult is having a kid that is having a hard time at that moment and he's not able to communicate and say what is happening to him.
Right. Right. You know, a lot of times a child, other children will be able to tell their parents, my stomach hurts.
Exactly.
I'm scared of this or I'm scared of that. You don't have that advantage. So you have to communicate other ways.
Exactly.
What about other adults that have taken part in the education of Eros? For instance, Stephanie Arnoldo.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Tell us her role in your life.
Oh, I love her. I love her. She has the most beautiful heart. She's sweet. She understands the kid in another level. And I think the key of being that close with Eros is love. That's the key number one. It's just love. You don't have to understand absolutely everything. You just have to love.
Right.
And that's what she has. She has a lot of love in her heart. In the beginning, it was hard for her to connect with him because he wasn't talking too much and he was just wild, running back and forth, all these things that he was doing, but she still continued doing it over and over, and he scratched her, bite her, everything.
Right.
But she continued coming to my house with a lot of patience, with a love, with a heart full of love, and trying to just to help him. And that's why she's different from the other therapists that I have.
Right.
I have a lot of therapists that have been through my house, and some of them just come once, 2 times, and they don't come back anymore.
Right.
Because it's not easy. I don't judge people in that because I know it's not easy. Right. It's not an easy job.
Not everyone is trained specifically for that, and then it requires, if you're going to be a patient therapist, you have to be twice as patient for this condition.
Exactly.
Your oldest son, has his condition changed as he's entered into adolescence, or has
Yes.
it changed at all, and how so?
Well, my older son they are similar in many ways. They have similar skills, like both of them are math genius, like they love numbers.
Right.
And they love science, and they memorize things so easy. And that's the fascinating part, right?
Right.
But then the different part is that Eros is non-verbal. So it changed the whole thing. It changed everything. Rances was able to talk.
Okay.
And he was expressing how he was feeling and everything. But I think the worst time for Rances right now is now that he's a teenager. Before it was easy, not too much. I didn't know about autism with him.
Right.
And I apologize to everybody if I ever say, oh, autism is easy. Because I make that mistake. I'm so sorry if I ever say that to you, having a kid with a profound autism.
Right.
Because that is on another level.
Right. So as a teenager, what's his difficulty now more so than as a younger boy?
Hormone changing,
Right.
being extremely smart,
Right.
and having sensory problems and socialization. Right. So being aware that he's extremely different from everybody. And putting him in medication, not finding the right medication, and see your child that he wants to die or kill himself. That's something really sad to see as a mother, seeing your child suffering in that way.
Right.
So I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Please. And there are Kleenex right next to you if you need for any reason.
Thank you so much.
Has either of them, have they been picked on by other children? Is there are there ugly situations that they've had to deal with?
Yeah, a lot of bullying.
Right.
People, adults bullying my kids,
Right.
because people doesn't understand, because what happened with autism is that you don't see it on the skin. You
Right.
don't see the person.
Right.
They just see a person that is behaving different. And in this society, we need to have more empathy, more love. Stop judging too much, because you never know what is happening to the kid, why he's acting like that, why he's behaving in that way, why he's not eating the food that you are serving him. You may think quick and fast, oh, that kid just needs some, spanks or whatever.
Right.
But it's not like that. It's not that simple.
Right.
And I'm happy that Rances has the ability of telling me what is happening to him. But what happened with those parents that have a kid that doesn't talk? I'm so happy right now and celebrating that Eros start talking.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, was this because of therapy, or it's with time we were expecting him to talk?
Well, it's a lot of work.
Right.
It's a lot of therapy. It's a lot of patience. It's a lot of love. It's a lot of pushing.
What was his first words?
Well, he has been saying mommy,
Yeah.
and now he starts saying more things and doing echolalia is something that they repeat a lot after you.
Right. Oh, I love that.
And it's so amazing when he say, I want juice. And the other day they put a little device, and he was expressing, the lady was telling him, play with the device, and then he say, I want home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And then she say, oh, you had to wait. Then I said, and then she said, do you want to go home? And he said, yes. So because this is important, Ed, it's important to talk to people that misunderstand autism. A lot of people thinks because they have autism, they are not understanding anything, that they are not smart.
Right.
They're extremely smart. They understand. One thing is not be able to express or talk.
Right.
Another thing is the ability of thinking.
Right.
And they have it.
Both of them have that ability to think like
Thanks God,
anyone else.
I am so happy to say that my kids, they both are able to talk and say what they think. I mean, no Eros starved just now, but they are really smart. Like Rances is the first child ever to attend the University of San Diego when he was 8 years old, taking physics in a class with adults.
Right.
So
I'm curious as to if there's a relationship with either of them to music and what music does, whether it helps them or whether they are able to remember every note, every word to a song. Does music play any part in their lives?
yes, I didn't mention this, but I am an artist and a painter. We we have been, the family loves art. We have been expressing art in different levels, in different styles. Like in my family, we have musicians, painters, writers, all kind of expression of creativity. And my son, Francis, has a perfect pitch. So it was amazing. One time I was in San Diego and this person was playing the saxophone in front of him and he was saying every note that he was playing. And I was so impressed. I said, is this possible? I mean, that is amazing. So I start kind of making, like I get a piano and I start asking him, what is this and what is that? And he was every time saying the notes, the right note. And I start noticing that he has a perfect pitch, and that's why he has the ability of with languages. He knows 8 languages reading and writing. And he loves Chinese. And I start doing research, and Chinese is a beautiful language. Like the sound, it's just perfect for people who has the perfect pitch. Right. The ear is just, I don't know how to explain this, but the thing is that he told me he hear Eros singing, and he told me, Mom, Eros has a perfect pitch. He's singing the notes exactly, the notes that he's listening to from the videos. Right. So both of them is gifted. They have the gift of music. Right.
And I love that. We love that at the radio station. You talk about being an artist. You not only wrote the book, but all of the art on the book, the graphics are you. Did you do the graphics?
Yes, I did everything in that book. Like all the work is a lot of work. And I did this book when the kids were sleeping in the middle of the night. My kids, it's hard to put them to sleep. Some of the kids with autism, they don't like to sleep. The mind is too busy. Okay. So I was waiting for these kids to go to bed. And when they go to bed, I start working on the book. Right. And I have been working for months for this book. And I did the art. And I put some numbers in there. It's a really beautiful book. I did my first expression of art, it was music. I love music. So I went to school and studied music. And then painting. So I wanted to do a special book to teach people about my child. There's a lot of people who doesn't have that opportunity of expressing what they are living every day. Right. And I think it's important in a beautiful way, artistic, with pictures, expressing what you living every day. Right. What is your experience with your child? And as much people get knowledge, because knowledge is power, yes, and consciousness too. Mm-hmm. So when you have the knowledge and consciousness, then you start kind of seeing things different, and I start understanding more and loving more when somebody is different, right, and respecting that. Mm-hmm. So that's why this book is here. I wanted to send a message to Arlene White. She is the director of special education in Laguna Beach, and she said that she will get that book for every classroom in Laguna for the kids to learn about autism. So that's great.
I love it. I love it. And I'm never getting rid of this book, but I wanted to donate a book, so I'm going to get a book from you today. And I wanted to donate a book to our library here in town.
Yes, please. You have this
Oh, no, well, that's okay. Well, thank you. I'd like to buy the book, actually.
Oh, you can find it on Amazon.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So tell us about Sarah Bayar.
Well, Sarah Bayar, she is the person that is working with my ABA therapist. Okay. There is Vincent that is working with Francis. And she is so amazing. She's always there. She's working with Stephanie, Vincent. She's in my IP meetings. She's always supporting. Sometimes you need people. Like I am lucky. I am a person that everything good happened to me, always comes to me. Like God knows, the universe knows why I had these kids. And the universe, God, knew that I can handle these kids, and that's why I had these two kids. And I have the experience of having a sister that was different.
Right.
So my sister, let's talk a little bit of her.
Suli.
Suli.
Whom I met, and as I told you when you walked up, I found her absolutely full of life and light and
Yes.
charming and wonderful. Tell us about your sister, please.
My sister was born with no limbs. She was, she's an artist. She's a motivational speaker. She goes around the world giving speeches about her life and how she paints with her mouth, and people loves her because she
I
is
love
a
her.
beautiful
I've,
soul.
I've spoken to her for a total of maybe 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I was absolutely taken by her.
And my next book is going to be about her. It's a little mouse painting with her mouth in a wheelchair. So having my sister teaching me about life, about people, different people with different abilities,
Right.
not disabilities, because sometimes people just think too much in what is different.
Right. Right.
Think about what connects you with the other person. When you think too much in what is the difference, it creates distance, and we need to connect more. And that's what she taught me, and I have that experience, and that's why I'm doing this with my kids. I understand better. I see things different. I go there and talk about my kids. I have been in the radio. I have been on TV. I have been in shows in Europe. Everywhere they call me about my kid, Francis.
Right.
And now this book is about Eros. And I love to talk about how we need to start open the hearts and the mind to accept different
Right.
and respect.
People can be very frightened of difference.
Yes.
And you can be drawn by it. You can be drawn to someone for their differences.
Yes.
And you should be. I find incredible strength in you.
Thank you.
But tell me, are there times where, and I know there had to have been times where you ever felt broken? You ever
Oh.
felt like you were on the brink of breaking?
Many, many times. Well, it has been especially hard lately
Okay.
because having two kids, two boys in the spectrum is a lot of work.
I can imagine.
And you have calls from the school district calling you this and that. Your kid is doing this and that. The other kid doesn't talk. He's no potty training, and you have all these things and all these people telling you, "Oh, you are not a good mom." That's why in the book it say, some people think that the little kid is a monster and they think he has a bad mom.
Right.
It's because the people love judging too much,
Right.
and they think that don't educate my kid in the right way, that how they think is the right way,
Right.
because they never experiment to have a kid like mine
Right.
or a kids like mine. So sometimes I break down, and it's okay to break. You know, sometimes it's okay. You gotta break to get light through you.
Right.
And that's my next book. I'm writing about how you need to break yourself to put yourself together and build yourself together with gold
Right.
and put it together, attach your pieces. And it has been hard because when you see your kids suffering and you go to the doctors, you go to psychologists, you go to school, and it seems like nothing is helping. The only thing that you have is hope and faith
Right.
that the kid is going to do better. And I have people telling me he probably won't talk with Eros, and now he's talking.
He's
So
talking.
I'm so happy. And some people say he's smart, and now I can teach them and show them that he's able to read and understand what he's saying. And the most important thing as a parent is just never let people get in you, trying to tell you what your kid is.
Right.
You just fight for your kid and do the best and keep giving him the support and the therapist. And you will see the kid will Hope is the last thing that you lose.
That's the strength I'm talking about right there.
But yeah, you cry, but it's okay. You can cry, and then stand up stronger.
Tell me about the good moments, those moments where it might just be the two of you. He just might be on your lap when you're and that might be a fantastic moment. Tell me about the great moments.
Well, the great moments.
I know speaking. I know when you heard him speak for the first time, that had to be one. But other moments where you feel, yeah.
Well, the truth is that for me, every simple things that other people see like nothing, for me is a big moment. Like Eros allowed me to brush his teeth.
Okay.
Putting that toothbrush in his mouth, and he couldn't tolerate the sound. He couldn't tolerate the texture. He couldn't tolerate the brush in his lips close to his mouth. So I was worried about the cavities, and I was worried about all these things. And I say, Dios mío, I'm Colombian, so I say, Dios mío, please. One day he's going to be able to accept this and brush his teeth like a regular neurotypical kid. And now it's happening. Those moments are amazing. And you enjoy it like you won $1 million. Like, oh my God. Something like that. Or when the kids say bye, or when he start kind of being friendly and try to play with another kid. Those are small things that happen that make my days.
Right.
Or Rances having a good day, like yesterday was a good day for Rances, and before yesterday was a really bad day. And it breaks my heart. I think one of the sad moments is when people try to call police on my kid.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, don't. No, it's okay.
So that's painful.
Right.
Because
they don't know.
This is a message for everybody. You don't call the police in a kid with autism. You call the doctors. You call the psychologists, the psychiatrists, the firemen maybe, but you don't call the police. Police people, they have good hearts, but they are training to do something else.
Right.
They are not training to be there helping the kid. I see a lot of news and I don't like what I see. Right. And I always afraid because how I say before, you don't know how the kid will react and the police will react. And it's really scary for me as a mother of a kid with autism, people not understanding what is happening to the kid and make the wrong decision.
Right.
So those are the sad moments. They break me. And when I see that Rances is having a good time and he was able to communicate and say what he thinks, those are the amazing moments for me. Right. And make my day, and I start jumping like, oh my God, yeah. This is, they are getting better. Right. And it's amazing, and I'd say thank you for everybody who has been helping me with a smile, with a moment, with understanding to my kids, because that means a lot.
And to close your book, your last line in your book, you list the people that have been directly effective in your life or directly affected the lives of your children. And then you say, to all of you, thank you for seeing Eros, for seeing the child, not just the diagnosis.
Yes.
And that stays with me right there.
Yeah. Sadly, a lot of people, when they hear the diagnosis, they don't treat the kid like a human being. They immediately see the problem.
Right.
They don't give the chance to the kid to express. Like one day I was walking and somebody asked, did he eat ice cream? Talking about Rances. Right. And I say, ask him. He can talk. He can communicate. You can ask him. Because immediately, imagine how he feels. Somebody's talking about you to somebody else.
Right. I'll be honest with you. When you first walked up, I didn't want him to be afraid of me.
Yeah.
as a stranger. He has never seen me, so I did not want him to be afraid of me. So I kept a little distance.
I know.
Was that wrong?
To be honest, there is no wrong or right, but the thing is that sometimes people are too alert to the negative things.
Right.
You should be have more empathy and get close to and at least try.
Right.
If you see that the kid doesn't want it,
Right.
and definitely it's showing you signs that he doesn't want it to be there in that situation, then back off,
Right.
because then probably a meltdown is coming.
Okay.
So you don't want that, but you gotta try, because if we people, families that have kids with autism, we don't try, they never will get better.
Right.
We need to try anything, and in the beginning, everything will be look like impossible, and it's a chaos.
Right.
But then slowly it start getting in place,
Right.
and you start creating those habits, and that's what you had to do.
It's like the toothbrushing thing.
Exactly.
Now he's
You try over and over,
Right.
and one day he allow you to do it with no problem. Now he open his mouth with no problem. So those are the beautiful, and with the food too. He doesn't like to eat everything. He's a picky eater. So you just keep putting the food on the side. He threw the food on the floor. He does things and upsets you or whatever. Just take it easy. Don't get upset. You know he's learning.
Right.
Even that's one of the big problems. People judge because they look big. They look like they look neurotypical. 7 years old. Somebody told me, but he's 7 years old. He should not be on diapers. He's 6. And I say, no, he's 6 years old and he's on diapers because it's so hard doing the potty training. I'm doing it. I try over and over. And yesterday he peed on the toilet. So I was celebrating that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So a little by a little, so I'm hoping that in the future he won't be wearing the diaper, but step by step.
Right.
And
Right.
try over and over. It's easy, and that's why people call me police all the time. It's because I get these kids out all the time. I just put it out.
Right.
If people doesn't understand my kids and they feel like, oh my God, they are too noisy or they're screaming, they have the right to be there. And if you don't understand that, that's not my problem. I'm so sorry, but I'm
No.
Colombian. I'm straightforward. I say what I say.
You're an incredibly strong mom and a protector of your children, and
Thank you.
you need not apologize for any of that.
Well, I know some people who never goes out. They have kids with autism. They never go to a restaurant. I understand that, and also I have empathy to them because it's extremely hard. People look at you. I have a guy jumping in my face, almost trying to hit my face, and calling me police, and all these things happen all the time. But I'm still doing it. You know why? Because I have been through worse.
Right.
This is nothing. And what I do it with love for my kids. If I continue doing it, they will get used to it.
Yeah.
And one day they will be able to function in society, and that's why I do it.
So as soon as we're done speaking, I can't wait now to make contact. And would he fist bump me?
He high five.
He high fives.
Yeah, high
Okay,
five.
so I'll work on a high five
Thank
with
you
him
so
if I can.
much.
I can't wait.
Yes.
So I'm eagerly awaiting and anticipating your next book. But
Thank
this
you.
one is Eros. Different, not less. It's a story about autism, written and illustrated by Nyx Sanguino.
Yes.
Absolutely magnificent way to tell the story.
Thank you so much. And I invited everybody to go to Amazon, get your copy. If you leave me a message, I will sign it for you or something. I would love for you to make a comment and give me 5 stars in Amazon
Okay.
to make the book more popular and people can find the book easy. I will appreciate that. Thank you so much for everything. You are amazing for giving me the opportunity to be here and talking about the book.
It is you that's amazing, and thank you for coming in and being so open and honest and telling it the way it is in your book and here. We look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
Can we have you back?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We're talking about Sully's book next time. It's a wheelchair, a little mouse with painting with her mouth because she's talented. She's an artist. So that's
and again, I was absolutely taken by Sully when I met her, and I can't bring her with you for the next conversation.
Thank you. Yeah,
when we
that
talk.
would be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nyx Sanguino, thank you so very much for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Ed.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thank
Bye.
you. 12:49 the time. It's the voice of Laguna.